Hi, I hope you're all well. So the subject this week, what I wanted to educate and discuss is eczema, psoriasis, any skin rash, inflammation. Gosh, am I seeing it so commonly at the moment in all ages, particularly children, middle-aged, even adults. So I wanted to talk about the why behind it. I wanted to talk about the gut and skin connection and the solution. Because always we want to look at the solution. It is the most exciting part is to work on the root of the problem. So when we see our skin have heat and rashes, we know there's inflammation at the root. And the skin, if anything, you've hopefully learning from all my videos, is that the skin and the gut are actually very much connected. So if they say that the lining of our gut integrity is actually a feedback loop for what's happening in our skin. So it has a delayed reaction, but either or the problem started in the gut. Hippocrates states all disease begins in the gut. So our gut actually is where our body not only turns our food into vitamins, minerals, and nutrition, and then if the gut's working well, kills all the bad stuff. Sometimes the mechanics of the gut break down and we're not aware of it, which leads to a lot of issues which causes inflammation in our skin. So that's one aspect. The other aspect is our skin is usually, if you're seeing these kind of conditions, the skin is too low in its vitamins. And that is normal. If you've got a light skin and you expose it to a lot of free radicals, which we all do, we need to address that. We need to figure out topical antioxidants that are high in nutrition, that are still active and not off, and that are applied regularly to replenish the deficiency, and then work on topping up the stores so the skin then has the ability to fight disease. So if I'm seeing a flare up, the area it flares is interesting. So if it's on the face, on the body. Some people see it flare around lymph nodes, and that tells me a lot as well. So let's talk about topical solutions. So if it's in a big flare, it means there's too much heat. So ultimately we want to get the vitamins back in, but if I'm going to use a topical, I'll actually start on the contouring cream. It's really cooling and soothing. It's got the vitamins, but it's not oil based. It's a cream base, so it will calm it down a little bit. Now, we want to make sure that that's applied once to twice a day to the area. Food groups that are going to cause more inflammation are going to be sugar, dairy, and genetically modified wheat. So they just need to come out and reduce any alcohols or extra toxins, reduce coffees and things that are acidic, and focus on warm cooked vegetables, leafy greens, lots and lots of olive oil, cooking with turmeric, anti-inflammatory spices, nothing too hot. So no peppers or nothing that's going to cause more heat inside the body. We want to support the lining of the gut. So a couple of good ways, and if you're in a big flare, Glutagenics is probably the one I'd go for, because it has a few things that are key for cooling the gut down. So it's got some pre-digested aloe vera, so that will help the mucal lining of the gut. It's got some glutamine to help the walls. So the little walls in the gut have become permeable, so we need to help glue them back together. So when they're permeable, when your food gets in there, it's not breaking down, it's going out through the walls and causing a constant loop of inflammation. So that's got to stop really quickly. So that will help repair that. It's got some vitamin A, which will also help the repairing, and some vitamin D. So they're all really key players. So I'd be taking this as prescribed, 2 scoops twice a day. We need to pack in the vitamin A and D. So for people who are adventurous, the kids' cod liver oil is the one I prefer, but there's a tablet form as well. Minerals, we need to get some minerals into the gut. We know that there is no zinc and magnesium in our soil. So believe it or not, if it's not in the soil, it's not in our food. Our body doesn't store this stuff. So what you do daily matters, like it really matters. I feel completely different if I'd had a break from this kind of thing, because then my system was humming along and then it's lacking. And when we're low in nutrition, the skin will flare. Our body's made of more bacteria than is of human cells. So we should be embracing that. And if you think about your gut, it should have a lot of diverse bacteria in there. Think of it like a car park full of every single brand of car that was ever made. All those brands of cars help to fight life. They had to fight infection. They help to break down your food. They are your defense. 70% of your whole immunity lives in the lining of the gut. So that bacteria matters. But what happens is things like stress and coffee and processed food and pharmaceuticals. These are just some chemicals that we clean with, that we're exposed to without us knowing, that we breathe in. These all kill some of those cars. So now we get empty car spaces within that car park. So bad bugs can start to live. And then when you put in your food, there's not enough good stuff to kill the bad. So there's no way to kill off the bad. What we do is we crowd it out. So this is why probiotics have a part to play in the pie. So this is a dairy-free option, which is really good when you're inflamed. We just go safe. And there's some other types of bacteria blends that we can use depending on your symptoms. But we want to be crowding out the bad. And when you eat your food, particularly soluble fiber, so that's your plants, your vegetables, they're going to basically, the more diverse they are, the more different colors, the more different options you're consuming, they're going to help grow that colony of brand new life in the gut. So they say the life of the plant is in the soil. If you go and plant your beautiful plant into a desert full of void of nutrition for that plant, it's not going to thrive. So you can be eating fantastic diet, but if the mechanics isn't so awesome, you are going to struggle, and you will see it in your skin. I cannot tell you how many times I see people physically working on the mechanics of their gut and instantly seeing a change in their skin. It is so encouraging. Now, when the heat's out of it, we want to topically get on vitamin A, C, and E. So you can see that's what's in the body oil. And the alpha hydroxy is a hydrating exfoliant. So I'd be applying this. You might have saw a photo I posted recently of a back. So her skin cleared up just from applying these guys. So what it's doing is the vitamin A, C, and E is fixing the deficiency of why the skin breaks out and causes irritation. And then the urea and lactic acid in the Dermalac, it's like mouth. So it's just going to gently eat off all the dead skin. And it's going to separate the cells and hydrate the structure of the skin. So then when you're applying the vitamins, they're going to have a higher ability to absorb. If they're absorbing into the deeper layers of the skin, they're going to improve the DNA of the cell. Improving the DNA of the cell is where the money's at. That's where we can actually mean as the cell divides, it's dividing with a high strength. Yeah. Do you know we have a separate immune system in our skin? We do. They're called Langerhans cells, and they actually float between the top 5 layers and the bottom layer. Yeah, epidermal and the dermal junction. And they need a ton of those vitamins to actually work. So when our skin is getting flares, we know that the immune system is down. And why the immune system is down? Because there's lack of nutrition. Have you heard of the saying that we're overfed but undernourished today? Some of my teachers use that one a lot. But it simply means because our soil is so void of some key nutrition, and then we are getting into genetically modifying foods, and then a lot of us eat food-like substances. Yeah, they come in packets, they taste great, but they're full of chemicals. They look like food, but there's no nutrition in them, which means we have a full belly, but our blood is void of a lot of its key minerals and vitamins that it needs to sustain life. So unless we're addressing this, you are going to see these things reoccur. And your body is doing you a favor. It's asking for help, and it's just asking very subtly, and then slowly these reoccur until the body starts screaming. And the body is screaming not to hate on you, it loves you, and it's trying to ask for the right nutritional support to get to work so it can go and heal itself for you. Dis-ease is when the body is out of nutritional value. It's either not absorbing or not getting what it requires, or it's not eliminating toxins efficiently. So we always have to examine personal lifestyles, because personal lifestyles dictate how our genes are getting food and how they're eliminating food. Hopefully this was helpful. Think about when you see flares, you have to take a minute to be detective in your own health and life. But sometimes we need professional help because we're not sure where to start, and we need to use good quality things, not trial and error. So this is a little bit of glimpse into a strategy to start improving once you're seeing flares, and then to actually fix the root of the problem so you don't have to keep living in that condition. You can move on to a healthy, glowy, healthy skin. All right, have a beautiful, beautiful week. Hope this was helpful. Talk soon. Bye for now.